Good evening, sir. The last few days have been filled with a lot of activities. One was Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso interview and the reactions that follows it. What do you have to say about the argument for single tenor? Second is Daniel Bwala's interview with Channels TV. But let's go back to the interview Senator Musa Kwankwaso had. What's your contribution to that?
Thank you so much. Like you said, the last few days have been a barrage of social media reaction, especially after Senator Musa Kwankwaso, PhD's interview, where he made the argument for single tenor, and he had said that there was an agreement between him, not just in the party, but between him and P2B. And a lot of Nigerians have been reacting, saying that, oh, how could they have had an agreement, that such agreement is not plausible, it's not doable, and not the rest of them. But the truth is that what His Excellency said was quite on point and apt. Even though there is no constitution about single tenor, not single tenor, about zoning in Nigeria, but there's something we call political norm and political culture. It's not most countries in the world, their constitutions are not written. Like UK, the United Kingdom, they don't have a written constitution. And there is no country that has captured every of their political culture in a single document. And therefore, the idea of equity, and even in our own constitution, we have something we call federal character, which entails that Nigeria is a vast country. It means that everybody has to be shown the sense of belonging. And therefore, there has been that political culture, unwritten political culture in Nigeria, that power should rotate from north and south. And therefore, again, our constitution did not even guarantee 8 years tenure. Our constitution guarantees 4 years tenure. It means that if you're given first 4 years, after 4 years, that 4 years is renewable. It means you have to go for another election. It means that you have to be voted for again for you to actually qualify for a second tenure. Therefore, the argument about, oh, must somebody have a single, does not hold water, because the constitution guarantees 4 years. After 4 years, you come. It means that if you do not do well, the people can actually vote it out. Again, 4 years is actually enough for anybody to make an impact. If 4 years is not enough, the framers of the constitution would not have guaranteed a 4 year single tenure. They would have made it 10 years, they would have made it 20 years, they would have made it 8 years, but they said 4 years because the framers of the constitution know that within 4 years, a president should make an impact. There are other governors, there are other people in the world that have made impact in their single tenure. Sam Bakwe, from 1979 to 1983, made an impact. He was the governor of the then Imo State that comprises Abia State, Ebonyi State, and the present-day Imo State. Then you talk about Lateef Jakonde in Lagos. In short, most of his legacy projects are still there today for people to reference that. So, and in P2B's agreement with the party and Kwankwaso, P2B is saying that 4 years is enough for him to make an impact. And the things that P2B need to do are not even so much. It's not about building skyscrapers or building a massive infrastructure everywhere in the country. It is to reset the country. It is to actually bring discipline in leadership. It is to bring law and order. There are basic principles upon which countries can grow. No country can grow, no country can develop without law and order. Today, you can agree with me that there is lawlessness, there is no discipline, there is no accountability. No country can actually develop like that. And therefore, P2B is coming to right this wrong. If only his administration will come and set the record straight and put Nigeria on a roadmap to progress, bring law and order, bring discipline, bring accountability to governance, Nigeria will be on the path of development. Any other person that comes thereafter will be able to build on that. What Nigeria needs now is not road infrastructure. What Nigeria needs right about now is not to build skyscrapers. What Nigeria needs right about now is to bring discipline in governance, is to cut cost of governance, is to bring law and order, is to make sure that Nigerians are secured, because today Nigerians are not secure. Because you must first of all have a country before you can know how to govern it. The people of a country must be secured for them to walk on a road, for them to live on skyscrapers, for them to enjoy massive, at least they must be alive first. You can agree with me that today Nigerians cannot sleep with their 2 eyes open. Nigerians cannot walk or move freely on Nigerian roads. Today, Nigerians are being kidnapped almost on daily basis. School children are being kidnapped and their teachers almost on daily basis. In fact, I just came from Lagos the other day. The the car that carried me had to pass through a bush path, because when we got to Kaba, he was afraid that something might happen. He had to pass another secret road. Even me, I was afraid, but the driver said that is the only way they can be assured that nothing will not happen. If Nigerians have money today, all of us will be flying on air. In short, I was at the airport, Abuja airport, on Sunday. If you see the massive crowd there, Nigerians are now go to borrow money to pay flight tickets. So this thing is not sustainable. It cannot work. We need a new tendency in governance, and 4 years is quite enough. And Peter Obi is a man of his word. People have argued, would Peter Obi keep to his word? Before you, nobody, I think it was William Shakespeare that said there is no art to read the mind construction on the face. Therefore, we don't live in people's hearts. But when people make promises, you have to look at where they are coming from. You have to look at their trajectory. Peter Obi is a man who has, at every time he has served, whether it's public or private life, he has kept to his word. So if we look at him from where he's coming, we can say that this man will keep to his word. And Peter Obi has said he will not stay a single day after 4 years. So 4 years, the argument about whether the 4 years is sustainable, a whole lot can be done in 4 years.
All right, thank you, sir. Can you react to Daniel Bwala's interview with Sheung on Channels TV?
It's funny. Daniel Bwala has become actually a broken record. I don't think people take Daniel Bwala's serious these days. I think it was Ellen G. White that said that the greatest want of the world is not the want of money, but want of men who cannot be bought or sold, men who in their innermost soul are pure. You cannot say that about Daniel Bwala. Daniel Bwala is an educated sycophant. I say that with every sense of responsibility, because Daniel Bwala is somebody who has been flip-flopping. He says one thing today, tomorrow he says another thing. But Daniel Bwala is a paid dramatist. He's a paid dramatist in the sense that anybody that pays him, he goes to speak with. It's a man that does not have integrity. When a man loses his integrity, the worth of a man is not how much he has in his pocket. It's not the houses he has built. It's not his job description. The value of a man is the person's integrity. When a man loses integrity, that man ceases to be a man. So people like Daniel Bwala are people that we should not take seriously. It's just because of politics. That is why most times when people like Daniel Bwala speaks, we respond to them. Ordinarily, we are not supposed to respond to them because he does not have any more value. This is a man that called the president today all manner of names. He called him a drug baron, he called him a thief, he called him a certificate forger, and all the rest of them. That same man has gone to speak on behalf of that same president. It's like a man going back to eat his vomit. When somebody vomits something, you go back to eat it again. It's only a dog that can do that. So Daniel Bwala is not somebody we should waste our time with. So whenever Daniel Bwala calls Peter Obi's name, we have to respond to him because it's politics, because maybe people might hear it and say, oh, why didn't they respond? Ordinarily, we're not supposed to respond to it. It's not a man we should take seriously. It's not a man that has integrity. Daniel Bwala is an educated sycophant. Why do I say so? Yes, I acknowledge that Daniel Bwala went to school. I acknowledge he's a lawyer. But when education is not used to develop society, it's not used for the good of society, then education becomes useless. If we don't have men of integrity in this country, our country cannot develop. And the danger of bad governance, it's not so much that they do not even develop the country. It is also because they compromise good people. I think, like I'm a Christian, the Bible says that if Christ, the coming of Christ tarries, that even the very elite can actually be compromised. If we bring that to politics, we'll also say that when we allow bad leadership to stay for a long time, it compromises even good men. And that is why all of us should resolve to make sure in the next election we vote APC out. If we don't vote APC, APC will kill this country. It is our resolve in this time that we are going to come together. If you've not gotten your PVC, Sunday is the last day for the PVC. Go and get your PVC. Make sure you register. Make sure when the collection time comes, you go to collect it, because Nigerians must resolve to vote APC out, so that we don't hear from people like Daniel Bwala again. We don't see Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his co-travelers again, so that we can begin to rebuild our country. And yes, 4 years single tenure is sacrosanct. 4 years single tenure is enough to reset this country. Like I've said, it's not so much about building skyscrapers. It is about resetting the country. The country has drifted. Right about now, we need somebody who can come and bring Nigeria back. Nigeria is like a people who has way past their destination. We need somebody to drop us back to the roadmap of progress, and Peter Obi can do that. Peter Obi and His Excellency Alhaji Musa Kwankwaso, PhD, is the OK ticket. And this ticket is what Nigeria need at this time. These men are men who believe in people, who are people-oriented, who even when they are given opportunity to serve as governor, they were able to impact people. Today you have massive organic supporters and followers following His Excellency Musa Kwakwaso. He has a lot of PhDs, about 3,000 or 4,000 PhDs scattered all over the world. And P2B has also invested so much in education when he was a private citizen and also when he was governor of Anambra State. These people are people who have been tested and trusted. These people are people who will use government money for public good. So 4 years single tenure is sacrosanct, and after P2B is done with 4 years, His Excellency Rabiu Musa Kwakwaso, PhD by the grace of God, will take the reins in 2031, and Nigeria will move forward. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you.